So a lot of people like chicken wings. I like chicken drums. They're about the same cost, but you get more meat when you sink your teeth into them. So today we're grilling 7 chickens or so. There you go. Okay, so welcome to the life of a dad. Today we're dealing with duct work. So it's getting warm out. We're gonna turn the air conditioning on soon. So the duct piece used to go through here. I decided that wasn't a good place because it really needs to go more that way. So what I did is I took that can light that was here, moved it over here, rerouted it, plus the wire had to be super tight around there. So it's super tight around there. And then I rewired that to that and that. So that was moved. That allowed me to move this piece over here. Now this duct work is pretty fancy. I got this out of the trash at work. They're doing building retail spaces and just throw this stuff out. So that's a 12 inches across, which fits fine in a 16 on center, which is 14.5 inches, and it's 8 inches high. So that will come through here, right through here. Of course, I'm gonna have to remove that. You can kind of see it at the other end. And this is about 12 feet from here. And then this piece, which is preformed, will go into there, utilizing that piece down there. So that piece will connect to here. It's gonna raise it up, and then I just have to connect these two. What will this get me? Oh shit, I'm gonna have to move that. Great, never thought of that. Fuck. Well, way over in the corner is the feed to Sophia's room. That will come off the back of this. That'll go shoot up there. That will get one more outlet upstairs. And then this long piece goes all the way over there and will go over to here. And that will go up to the master bedroom, which currently doesn't have any air feed. So I'm gonna have to shoot across here. That's gonna go in another foot, and it's gonna come across here, over to here, and then over here, up there, where that temporary fan was that I thought I could use to pull cool air, but it made so much freaking noise I declined. So yeah, so I want to keep a good size. Now I may at a later date add more air conditioning this way up to the kitchen area, because the kitchen really just has one, or maybe into the living room. So by bringing the trunk over this way, I got options to go places. So that's what we've been working on this morning. I have to move the TV. I figured out what I'm going to do there. I'm going to drop the TV down a shelf, so that will work. And now I got to convert sheet metal, because I have some 10 by 12 8-foot section. Actually, it's a 10-foot section. It's almost perfectly long. No, it's 8 feet. That's what we've done over there. Okay, so we figured out what we're gonna do. This section and this section are two different pieces. They connect here and here. And we need this to be 8 inches. So I'm cutting off 9 inches from this side. And then I'm gonna bend this over an inch and then put it over here. We'll take this apart when we're done. It's really hard to take apart. Then we'll flip around to the other side. So I'm using my saw with the edge guide. That edge obviously is very straight on a steel cutting blade that seems to be more appealing than cutting. There we go. So we'll do that, this piece and that piece, and this is going to get us 8 feet, and we have to figure out another piece. But I got more pieces downstairs, but these pieces are identical size, so it'll be the same paradigm. And I have a piece of long 12-inch steel with a groove that will slide into here and then allow me to bend that 90 degrees, plus a hammer, probably a hammer, piece of wood. I don't know. We'll beat the shit out of it. Okay, that worked pretty well. So I got a very, very straight edge, and look, I'm not bleeding, which would be the case if I used tin snips. It wouldn't be straight, I'd be bleeding. So I grabbed my sheet metal benders. So this attaches on the sheet metal, then you can bend it. But this is my big guide. So basically that's got a groove down the center. She fits like that. She happens to be 1 inch, and then I'll bend it. Of course, I'm gonna have to trim this edge off first because that won't bend, and then I need to bend it all the way down there and repeat 4 times. I decided I'm gonna leave this piece in here. It's just not worth getting out and bending the metal. It's nice and straight. It'll add rigidity, and it's only this little 1 inch long section anyhow. So this is going actually better than I thought. I've been mapping this out in my head for months. So one of the impetus is, of course, to get the air conditioning hooked up. The other one is space. I've got a whole bunch of sheet metal. I didn't want to get rid of any until I realized exactly what I needed, what I have. And when I'm done, I'll be able to get rid of the remainder of the sheet metal and free up a lot of space in the basement. As you can imagine, these things are a little hard to store effectively. Okay, she's done. It's 8 inches by 12 inches. And it seems like higher than 4 feet, but we actually got out the old bicycle. So in 1982, I took a Team Mayada, and it's a mix of Dura Ace and Campy. So we got Dura Ace seat post, headset, Campy crank. Campy needs to be clean record. Campy, I don't remember what that is. These are the wheels I built up in college. They're clinchers, and I got Campy brakes. These are the kind of cool thing. You can infinitely adjust them on the fly. Oh, my rubbers are hard. So, I'm gonna go take her for a spin. It's been a while. This should be nice and comfortable. And she needed a wash. She was very dusty. Got to get that rust off the front derailleur. I forgot about these. I love these with that clamps on there. I don't know what's in there. You should see. I haven't been in there in 30 years. What's in there? Help me understand. Looks like a tube. Something else. A quarter. Very old quarter. Oh, that's for emergencies. That's back before you had cell phones and you had to call people on a public phone. Yeah, it's old school. Oh, yeah, there she is. I guess it tells you something when your spare tire in your bike is worn out and has a big hole in it, even though you've never used it. That you might not have been riding your bike much. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. All through there. I don't know if you can see that, it's all cracked. She doesn't even hold air. So we'll go without a spare tube. Much lighter. Okay, well, so this is the top in the attic where the speaker wire needs to come out. And unfortunately, I left a pull string here. So all I need to do is remove that caulk and attach the cable to it and pull it down. I bought 100 feet of the same stuff. Then you have to pull it all the way down there. And I made a pilot hole for the second speaker. It's underneath, someplace down there. We're going to check that to make sure it's in a good space. Then we just cut the hole and away we go. Looks like I'm going to have to get some more wire staples. I can't fit another set through there. So I'll probably put it down here lower. Yeehaw. So despite having a pull cord, I managed to pull the cord out of the hole. I should have tied it off here so it didn't go up there. So I had to push this through. Fortunately, it went down the first time and it came out. So now we pull on this. And then she gets stuck. So that's good. Well, at least we got the pull cord down. Now I gotta untie this, which of course was designed not to come out. We'll go yank on the other side and figure out why it's not coming through. Okay, so this is the top. We'll just pull this out, but I see that knot right there is why it wasn't going down. So we'll have to straighten that out and feed it down. Okay, so we're up in the attic, and that's the first speaker. So I assume the other one goes over here. just a few inches of insulation I got to move here. So about 3 years ago, I was in Streetsboro, and they were demoing a grocery store, and it had piles of R38 insulation in the trash. So I literally came home, got the van, and dragged out a van full of this stuff. So super insulated on that side. I got not as much over there, but it is. Okay, after digging through all the insulation, I found the wire that I inserted through the hole downstairs. 2x4 is right there, so we need to be far away from here. It turns out that the other one is about a ½ inch farther, so I'm gonna make a new hole here, get away from that 2x4, and I'll pop that in there. When we're all done, we're gonna build a box out of Rigid's foam and seal the enclosure. That gives it insulation capabilities, plus it makes the speaker sound better to have some back on there. But yeah, I have 2 feet of insulation, 3 feet, I don't know, a lot of insulation up here, but like you said, it was free. Okay, so cable's through. So now we got a continuous cable going up the wall to the attic. We can bring it across. There's the speaker I installed last week. And now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna drill a new hole. We're gonna use this device, which makes a cutting wheel, makes a nice clean line. Then we're gonna make a hell of a lot of mess using this dust spreader to cut the rest out. So we'll be done in about 2 minutes. Okay, the hole's scribed and ready to go. A smart person would have a second person with a vacuum sucking this up, but we don't have that luxury. Okay, the hole's done. A little bit of sap over there. Reminder to self, whoever does the deal, wear glasses or goggles. Yeah. Okay, so I grabbed the XPS foam that I used on the last set of speakers and built myself 2 boxes. They're 16 by 16 and 12 inches high. And yeah, I'm missing one piece, a 12 by 16. I have a little scrap left. So considering I started with a 4 by 8 sheet, I'm not terribly disappointed. So I'm gonna have to go get some more, but I used some bathroom caulk and caulked the insides and then the outside perimeter. She should dry up pretty well and be pretty sturdy. These will of course go on top of the speakers in the attic, and then I'll foam around them and seal them in. I got a can of foam. I got that crappy stuff, but I got the gun stuff out here somewhere. Okay, well, I'm not surprised because I had a problem with the old one. If you look really carefully here, well, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see at the bottom is sticking out more than the top. So what that means is that this thing's not level, which means when you screw this in and get this straight, because it wants to go like this, when you put it like this, it binds in there. So I'm gonna have to adjust that a little bit. Plus my my screws here are a little short and they don't quite fit all the way. So a little clean out will help. And this was causing problems with the old lock. So I ended up installing it crooked because that was the other way to make it work. Okay, because this is already inset enough, don't you go outside. You get back in the house, you sneaky little bitch. Go, go. I chased you down the street once. I cut up a little piece of plastic. I had a piece right here someplace. This little piece of plastic, a flat piece of plastic, and I put it behind here, and that's gonna shim this out, making this straight, which it now kind of is using my straight meter. When I tighten it up, it'll get more straighter, hopefully. Also, the short screw there is what came with it. I got some longer wood screws, and the heads are beveled, so they'll fit right in there, and just polished them up on the wire wheel. So we'll give this a go. Okay, well, that must have done the trick. So it looks like the wire goes on the bottom, even though it comes to the top. This now moves nice and freely, and it was hitting this top piece right in there, which you can barely see moving. But now she moves nice. The screws are in there. Put the rubber garment on. This looks somewhat straight. So now we'll put the rest on it, hook the batteries up, and figure out how to program her. That's awkward. So this, I guess, goes behind there because it's got the little nubs, and it only fits that bracket. So okay, so I need another 10 by 12. So this time I took a bigger piece. I was able to retain this joint, so it'll be the bottom side that looks real pretty. And I rebent this side, a little less pretty. Then I'll pull it over the corners and screw and tape this side. So this will be the last long piece going towards the furnace. I've got 2 more pieces and then I'll be 16 feet out of like 24. Okay, so I've got 14-inch supply connecting to 12-inch supply. This is going to be the top, and it's at an angle. It's going from up, below up 8 inches or so. So that's why that's at an angle like that. So it's kind of a pain in the ass to bend, but I'm doing it in pieces because where it's located, I can't get to above to screw things in. So I'm doing the bottom, side, and top. So just have one more piece to bend, and hopefully we'll get her in there. Of course, it's the complicated bend like that. Okay, I was gonna work on the car, but now it's 45 degrees. It's supposed to be 29 tonight, so we moved back inside. So I got this out of the trash. It used to be much longer, about 2 feet longer, and it's solid maple. It used to be at the Hiram Bar. There's some graffiti still there from students. And obviously there's a sink in there. However, over the years, this piece has become unglued. And now recently, this piece is unglued. So there's a bolt going right through the entire thing. I need to pop these little wooden plugs out and remove that rod. Then I'll take these out, clean the glue joint surfaces. I'm gonna have to clean underneath here. And then I'm going to glue these back on. I think I need to put some silicone underneath there while I'm there. And I think to support the back end, see how it kind of moves around a little bit back there. Well, it moves around because I'm moving here, but this is lower. I'm gonna put a piece of wood underneath here in the cabinet. If I can get up there, across there. Just tack something in there to keep that from settling. Then I'm gonna put a big clamp across here and tighten the crap out of it. Put the bolt, well, I'll tighten the bolt back up. And I think I'm gonna use, hate to say it, but the polyurethane, the Gorilla Glue, because this does get wet. And because of the water, and these are short pieces, so I think I'm gonna do that. Why am I hesitant? Well, the glue glue makes a mess, so when I'm done, I'm going to scrape all this off. Then when that's done, I'm going to lightly steel wool this and reapply a finish on there, since the people that use this all the time aren't here this week. So yeah, that's almost fun. You could like play with that all the time, but bothers the hell out of me still. Okay, well, just getting the plug out turned out to be harder than I thought. At first I made a little tiny hole with this drill bit. Cat's not really helping. Then I stuck the paper clip in there, but every time I did, the plug's too thick for me to bend it around, or I kept hitting the bolt. So then I tried to loosely thread a drywall screw in there, and I got it that far. Now she don't want to come out. So I think I got to scrape around here. I think I've got some buildup of the finish on the outside. So it's always the simple things. So sure enough, that plug's thicker than I thought it would be. So this trick wasn't going to work very well. Because I can't have it bent and then come through. I have to make a much bigger bend, like way back here, but I didn't know that. Well, yeah, I got it out. I scraped out most of the goo. I'll sand that before I put it in there. Hopefully, I can loosen this and then just push this side out and not have to put a hole in there. I do want those not to sit in so far. Put like a washer or something, not in there. So, closer. So we got pizza about 10 o'clock last night, and I'm not a piece picker. Like, I like the stuff on the pizza, I want the stuff. I eat the piece of pizza. I think here, some sort of animal, probably not a Yorkie because they can't get up on the table, kind of help themselves. So I guess this piece is for the cats. These will be mine for lunch. Okay, getting there. So per the master plan, once I removed the nut on the end, I was able to use this to push the rod through, which then pushed this through, which I must have made these plugs. I don't know. Looks like something I would have done. So I got the rod out. Notice there's some rust over there, so this has been leaking a while, which probably didn't help this. I was able to pull this out, which also I was able to notice this sits up. Somebody just put a piece of wood in here to encourage that piece to stick up. Definitely gonna have to re-caulk this, but we expected that. But otherwise it looks pretty good. Now notice the glue doesn't look like it penetrated that well, which is probably why that broke. I believe the glue part is here, so I'm not terribly surprised. Yeah, see, the glue didn't, they did a shitty job of gluing this. That piece is, I don't think I'm gonna break that open. Just gonna risk that it's gonna stay attached. So hopefully with caulking this a little better, because I can get all the way underneath there, under the sink, cleaning this off and re-gluing it and tighten the crap out of this bolt, which should be good. Looks like it got plenty of threads on this side, so we'll make sure before we put it in there. I'll have to clean it up in the wire wheel, but this project will be done by the afternoon. So as always, things change. So one, I was going to use polyurethane glue, which apparently I used before underneath, but that's probably the last time I bought polyurethane glue. My glue bottle was frozen, so I'm using this. But remember, when I took it apart, the glue joints weren't complete. So I spread the glue all around and then tightened it all up. And I used these clamps so that I wasn't relying solely on the 3/8 bolt to clamp the shit out of it. When I did that, I realized I wasn't getting a complete closed joint here. So I then realized that I couldn't move the sink, and it was loose before. So I think what happened is this isn't straight, and the sink actually was holding this from coming back together. So I decided the best thing to do is pull the sink out, obviously. Sink, yeah, there's the sink. I was glad that it was really hard to pull out here, which means that this section here has held over the last 12 or so years. So when this is done drying, we'll clean this up, enlarge the hole so it loosely fits. And then we'll put a nice clean seal all the way around, drop it in, put a weight in there, wait a day, and then she'll be good to go. So I'm gonna let this cure for a while. I did tighten the crap out of the bolt, probably would hold it all together, but there's no reason, no rush. Then we'll put this all together. Meanwhile, the FedEx guy came, so let's see what we got today. So yesterday, I saw this really good deal. I've been wanting to get one of these for a while, and it was only $30. And then the goofiest thing is I could have had it shipped to Home Depot where I could pick it up next week, or you get it shipped to me and arrive 2 days later. No, 1 day later. So it's one of these new lithium jump starters. So our jump starter, the battery died. I bought a new one. It didn't fit. It was a pain in the ass. It was never charged. And I needed it. So this one may not have enough truck to start the. May not have enough power to start the truck, but she's cute and should start all the cars. But also, it, of course, doubles as a USB battery, which has 6,000 milliamp hours. So she's got a lot of power there. It looks like it's already got a little bit of a charge. So we're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do. Turn it on. Whoa, okay, flashlight works. Why am I blinded? Okay, so this has, can't quite see anymore. Forced essay, so it's fully charged. So I don't have to charge this. I thought I'd have to charge it. I assume that this plug comes out. Hand cam. Yep. Always good to totally remove that. And then this plugs in there. It's key. And you pop that on your battery contacts, and away you go. So, nice contacts in there. Solid copper, looks like. Other than the flashlight incident where it blinded the crap out of me, this looks like a pretty good deal. And again, it was $30, so given a jump start, if you needed a tow truck, is $70. I figured this would be a good deal.